Hey everyone, welcome to the new session. Salary expectation based on your experience. So in this session, we are going to talk about the salary expectation, which is we are going to make a model on that. But before that, let me introduce that Great Learning has came up with the idea of Great Learning Academy, where you will get almost 80 plus free courses, and after complete your course, you can claim your certificate as well. And if you want to do these courses in your mobile application, that is also possible using Great Learning app. And one more thing guys, that I am audible or not, please do let me know in the live chat for that we can start the session. And if you do these courses in your from the Great Learning Academy, then you can actually add them in your LinkedIn profile and you can skill up yourself. The main thing is you will get a certificate out of it. You can use them to upskill yourself, right? So yeah, this is the site, and here you will go and you can check. There are lots of courses you will get for specific domains. So whatever the domains you want to go for, you can directly go and you can start learning, right? So I think I'm audible, please let me know. And I'm just waiting for the other folks to join, and then we are going to do a really exciting project on machine learning, that is salary prediction based on experience using machine learning. Okay, I can see few yes, so I just want to wait for few other folks to join, and then we will start this session of salary prediction based on experience, right? So before start the session, is just a curiosity, you can say how many of you actually think that salary is dependent on the experience for most of the cases, or you think like if you have the right skill set, you can go for getting the proper salary? I mean, what your thoughts guys, if you can share with me. Okay, I can see I am audible guys. So it's just a normal thought, this come random thought come into the mind, that what do you think, like, is salary based on your experience, or if you have a proper skill set, then also you will get a good salary? What do you think guys? Right, so in the meantime, when you are going to give the answers, your thoughts, let me just show you what agenda we are going to have. And again guys, one more thing, please do subscribe Great Learning. For that you will get notified with the new courses we are coming up in the YouTube. And also please go to Great Learning Academy. There you will get multiple courses, like almost 80 plus courses we have, which are designed by the professionals. And after doing this course itself, you can go for using those certificates as your skill up, right? So please don't misuse that opportunity, please go and do that. And yeah, I can see some of the answers. Some of you are saying proper skill set, some of you are saying both, and Usha is saying both, but experience counts more. Okay, yeah, basically when we talk about the experience, right? So some companies' mentalities are like, if you have the skill set, that actually matters a lot, but if you have experience, then maybe you the mistakes will done by you will be very less, right? So for my case, if you ask my understanding for that, I feel like experience matters, but with that you need to have a proper skill sets as well, right? Yes, current recording for this will available. Okay, right. So now in this case, first we are going to little bit talk about machine learning, who are actually new to this session. So we will have a look at why do we need machine learning. Then we will talk about what is machine learning. Then a small life cycle, we will discuss that how can you start using your first machine learning model, and also what are the steps you need to follow before that. Then we will see what is machine learning, and then we will have a look at the difference between normal machine learning and the traditional programming. Then we will see the types of machine learning we have, right? We have three types of machine learning: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. And lastly, we will do the salary prediction based on experience using ML. That's a full end-to-end project. So if you are someone who has no idea, or rather zero idea about machine learning, you also can join the session, because it's something we are going to do from the scratch, and it will give you a proper idea that why machine learning is actually booming these days, right? I think Any doubt before start the session? And if you really like the session, please do hit like, for that I can understand you are liking the session. And again, please do subscribe Great Learning. Hi Nikhil, thank you so much. Mayank, not every cases they want MS or PhD in machine learning. So basically, if you have a good idea about machine learning, if you know how to start with looking at the data, if you know, yeah, we will talk about this. That time they don't want for MS or PhD in machine learning, right? Hey Karen, thank you. Okay, so now we will have a look at why do we need machine learning. The basic reasons of using the machine learning technique is, in past what we used to have. In the past we used to have data in a structured way. Now if you ask me what is a structured way data, so you can see there is an Excel page and there we are putting the data. There will be a human error for sure, but do you think there will be a literally the data will be in a unstructured way? No, right? A human is working on that, and obviously the data will be in a structured way, because that time data was not in a huge format. It not in a amount was not huge. But with days, I can give you the guarantee, right? Like I can just, we all are dependent on our phone, right? We go for booking our cab, we go for booking our food, or we go for anything, right? We first prefer to go and check on Google or some other websites to have information about that. So when you are searching something, when you are booking something, right, that is actually getting stored by these respective companies. So if you ask me why, so I think you guys are quite familiar with the name of Alexa, right? How many of you have heard the name Alexa? If you can give me a quick heads up on that, then I can give you a good idea about what is Alexa and how you are actually helping Google to make their Alexa more perfect with this, right? So I hope you guys all know about Alexa. So as we know that when we buy the Alexa, so that time whatever you are saying, that is actually storing, right? They are storing and they are using those data to train their model, right? So in this case you can say, hey, I am saying some my own command and there is no point of using them. But yes, there is a point of using them, and Google is actually using all your commands, whatever the thing you are saying, because they are training their Alexa with that, right? The more data you have, this is the concepts of machine learning, deep learning, or you can go for artificial intelligence, right? Anything. Right. So yeah, Harshit. Nice one. Right. So basically, yeah, so whatever, right, speech to text conversation, right? So basically it's like whenever you are giving any data, whenever you are talking, maybe you are thinking, hey, I'm just talking, but yeah, this is storing, because they are actually training their own model with that. And whenever you are trying to book some food, whenever you are going for booking your cab, right, all the time what's happening, it's basically storing those data. Storing those data, the main reason of storing those data, to train their model, right? So in this case, they maybe for Swiggy or Zomato, or maybe for Make My Trip, or some other travel agencies, like travel websites, right? Trivago, there are lots of websites are there. They are trying to find it out, what is the place where people their go-to way, right? For if they think, okay, we will go for a vacation, so what will be the vacation place they mostly go. That time, if they understand that, they can cluster their they can cluster their their customers. So they can see, okay, this person likes this, so maybe this person will also like this. So if you look at the if you look at the Amazon or Flipkart, when you are going to buy something, that time what's happening, so there is a portion, right? There is a portion used to come, you also may like, right? So this is nothing but clustering the same customers. They try to understand their customers, they try to make their customer experience so smooth, right? So maybe you are buying a shoe, it will give you a option for socks, So you don't need to go and find it out. It's actually enhance their customers, experience, and also their sales. So both way they are using all the data. This is data, right? They both way they are using data to actually enhance their business. Also they actually can make a good experience of customers as well, right? So this is the main reason behind it, why they are going to use those data. But when they try to use those data, there is a problem happened. What problem happened? The problem is basically nothing but yes, Vinay, it's more about deep learning than machine learning. That's true, but it comes under artificial intelligence. But recommendation system, again, it comes under machine learning, right? So you can do the recommendation system using deep learning as well. For the time being, I can see this is a application of, basically this is an application of artificial intelligence, right? So yeah, so basically whenever you try to use those unstructured data, because can you just think how many people are currently using these applications? Lots of people are currently using this per second. Every, like, they actually have lots of records. So just think of it like record. They have record. They just need to store them with a proper format, with this, like, with a million second, like, millisecond. They have lots of records. So how can it be possible? There will be lots of error. The data they can store, but the stored data will not be in a proper format. They will be unstructured or the semi-structured one. So when you have an unstructured or a semi-structured data, that time the main problem was this data is not in use, right? They are useless, right? There is no point of using those unstructured data, because if you are going to make anything with those data, that will not give you a good outcome. That time, the traditional tools we have, like Excel and other things to handle those data, that's fail. And that time came into the picture data science. And there are lots of tools we have under data science which actually help us to sort out those data, to make those data pricey. How they make data pricey? They actually make those data in a structured format. When they have a structured format data, that time what happened, that data can be used for any purposes. If you want to use for deep learning, if you want to use for machine learning, yes, you can go for it. But when you have the data, you need to make a model out of it. You need to make something with the data which can basically reduce your work. That time machine learning comes into the picture. And machine learning, basically what do machine learning? Actually take the data, make a model, and try to give you the prediction, right? And this is why we need machine learning. I hope it's clear, guys. I got few doubts. Vinay is saying ML and DL is more modules in application architecture for enhanced experience like recommendation and chatbot, but end-to-end application is using software development. Am I correct? For software development, most of the cases I hardly feel like someone use ML and DL. So for most of the cases, for recommendation system, or for text to speech, for RNN, LSTM, all those cases we use these concepts. So for this code, we are going to use linear regression today, right? So any doubt till so far, guys, for why do we need machine learning? I just give a long story, why do we need machine learning? Any doubt till so far? If you can just confirm me on that. Right. In the meantime, let me just tell you what is machine learning. So machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence that allows the system to automatically learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. Now you will ask me what you have said, right? Yes, what I have said, machine learning basically takes the data, train the model using the algorithm, and then give the prediction. After your model get trained, what we need to do, we need to again give the new data to our model, and your model will give the prediction, right? This is all the machine learning does. Okay. No ma'am, no doubt, Harshit. And guys, don't spam in the live chat. This is my request. Otherwise, the moderator will block you. Avinash says, when we use linear, yeah, we will talk about that, when to use linear regression and decision tree regression, right? So if you ask me when to use what algorithm, for that we need to understand few things. We will talk about that. Vinay, if you ask me that how to improve the experience is the training data will be fixed, there is nothing fixed in machine learning and deep learning. Everything is, test and try. Okay, so in this case, the more data you have, the more training data you have. There are few things you need to take care of, the overfitting. We don't need to talk about those things. Yes, for timing you can understand, the more data you have, the more you can train your model, right? Okay, so now this is all about machine learning. Now if we look at the difference between traditional versus machine learning, traditional programming versus machine learning programming. So the main problem is, for traditional programming you will give the data. Okay, so basic difference between both of them is, for the traditional programming we will give the data and you will give the programming and you will get the output, right? But in the case of machine learning, you will give the data, you will build a model and you will get the output. For the next time when you give the data, you don't need to write the program. The model will work for you and you will get the output. So this is how the machine learning basically reducing the work, reducing the human effort, and also helping us to make a good experience out of it, right? So this is the basic difference between traditional programming versus machine learning. Tanmay is asking what algo we are going to use. We are going to use linear regression, right? Now we will have a look at what is the life cycle to build a model with machine learning. So there are few steps you need to follow when we go for building a model in machine learning. What are those steps? So let me give you again a story to make you understand what are the things you need to take care of if you want to become a data scientist. So the main thing is, you need to understand the business problem. When we talk about business problem, if you are working with Swiggy, Trivago, or if you're just working with some other applications company who actually try to hire lots of data scientists, they will give you few data, right? And they will give you a business objective. So you need to understand what will be your objective. According to that, you need to understand according to that, you need to understand what are the things you need to proceed with your data. So, So, the first thing you need to do, understand the business problem. Right? So, understanding business problem is, being a data scientist, maybe your company is going to say, hey, I want to forecast my sales for upcoming years, or I want to understand what is the most popular restaurants I have in this area based on few attributes. These are your objectives. So this is where you need to understand forecasting sales and understanding few restaurants. It's not same. These two are different and you have to use different technique to work on these two. Right? So this is something, understand the business problem. After that, you have to go for data acquisition. So what is data acquisition? Data acquisition is nothing but data collection. You have to collect your data. Right? If you don't collect your data, if you don't have data, how can you do the prediction? So collecting your data is nothing but what? It's basically the company will give their own data, and also you need to find it out few repositories from where you can collect the data. After you collect your data is there. But we were talking about few things, right? That what is data cleaning? So data cleaning is basically when you have a unstructured data, that time you need to make them in a structured way, right? And when you go for making them in a structured way, what you need to do? You need to go for data preprocessing, which is the part of data cleaning. So in data cleaning, you have to take care of the misspelled attributes. There are lots of things can be there. I cannot even give you the proper idea what are the things you will face. But there are lots of things can be there, like misspelled attributes. Maybe you can see there are lots of columns, but they are not in use, right? So you have to give a full attention of giving, okay? So full attention to give a data cleaning. After you have done your data cleaning, your data is ready to use. that time you have to go for exploratory data analysis. What is exploratory data analysis? This is nothing but few things we need to understand about data. So when we try to understand few things about data, we try to use few techniques from statistics, right? So for the standard deviation for the whole data set, what is the mean, average, right? What is the IQ or interquartile range? These are the few things, like when we start talking about the data science engineer or a ML engineer, you need to have a good understanding of these pillars. The pillars like linear algebra, statistics and programming, right? After you have done the exploratory data analysis, then we go for using machine learning algorithm. That time you have a good understanding of your data and you know what type of a algorithm, what type of a algo you are going to use for your particular data. After you have data, you have algorithm, you can train your model. After you train your model, we give the new data to predict our model how it's working, right? So if you see that after prediction, your model is working fine with the new data set, that time you can deploy your model. What is deploying model? Deploying model is nothing but if someone wants to use your model, they can use it, right? For the time being, you can understand that. So this is the whole life cycle of how to build a model with machine learning. Any doubt till so far, guys? Any doubt? I will wait for a few more seconds and then we will talk about the types of machine learning. Then we will see unsupervised learning, logistic regression, and then we will jump into the project. Hey Madman, I think you should watch the video later. Before start the video, we talked about what is the use of ML. ML is nothing but a proper way to, making your model and making some few prediction based on the data set, the past observation. Kashyap, okay, it's clear, okay. And others? What about others, guys? Any doubt till so far? What is machine learning? And then why do we need machine learning? And whatever we have covered so far? Avilash is asking what is big data. Big data is also part of this artificial intelligence, and also there is another concepts basically to handle the huge amount of data, right? Okay. Now we will talk about the types of machine learning. What are the types we have in machine learning, right? So there are few types we have in machine learning. 3 types, right? First one is supervised, second one is unsupervised. Yeah, Tanmoy, we are planning to do that. Make a session on how to deploy the model. Right. So then we will see the 3 types of machine learning. One is unsupervised, supervised, and reinforcement learning. Right. So let's start with Vinayak. I will give you the answer few minutes later. Right before start the demo. I think that will be best. Okay. Alright, so we will have a look at what is supervised learning. The supervised learning work as a supervisor or a teacher. Basically, in supervised learning, we teach or train our machine learning machine with label data. Now you will ask me what is label data. I will show you in the raw data what is label data. So basically, that means the data is already tagged with few classes. Then we test our model with some unknown new set of data and predict the level of them. Right, so let's go to the one of the data set and maybe I can show you what is this label we are going to talk about. Okay, let me just try this out. If I have few things I can show you, then okay, right. So not this one. We have few datas I can show you. Okay, so here I think I have diabetes data. I just want to show you what is label data we are actually talking about. Yeah, I got it. Let me just show you what is label data I want to mean by. So there is a data set. It's basically a data set you can see over here, right? This is the data set I have. This is the diabetes data set. right? If you guys actually attend this diabetes dataset class, you can understand what actually it is. It's basically, there are lots of attributes are there, like how many times the particular person was pregnant, what is the glucose for that person, what is blood pressure, skin thickness, insulin, BMI, right, diabetes preggy function, age. Based on all these attributes, we are trying to find it out the outcome that particular person is diabetic or not, right? So if you look at this outcome column, let me just make it a little bold, right? So if you just look at this outcome column is nothing but, yeah, this outcome column is nothing but your label. Based on all the independent variable, you have a dependent variable. So outcome is nothing but your dependent variable based on this pregnancy, glucose and blood pressure. So when you have this type of dependent variable in your data set, that time you can go for using supervised learning, because supervised learning works with label data. And if you see, there is only two class. One is the person is diabetic, one is the person is not diabetic. So if the person is diabetic, then the outcome will be 1, otherwise 0. So this is the data set is basically for classification purpose, right? So you can see this, all the data you have over here, there is a two class over here. One is diabetic, one is non-diabetic. But there is one more data set we have, that's called continuous value dataset, the dataset we are going to work this time, right? So we have a salary dataset, we have year of experience, we have salary. So your salary is based on year of experience. So in this case, if we just make it this color, right, can you see your salary is in a continuous nature, so anything can be your salary, right? So in that case, what's happening, it's a continuous data set. You have label, but the label is in a continuous manner. That time you go for regression, right? So this is the basic things you need to understand when you start talking about machine learning. You need to understand the data itself, right? So in this case, when we are talking about any class itself, right, so you can understand there is a dependent variable you have in your data set, which is the class, which is nothing but the supervisor for your model. So that is why it is known as supervised learning, right? And also learning from the label data and applying the knowledge to predict the level of the new data set is known as supervised learning. So the types of supervised learning we have, basically we have two types of supervised learning. One is regression, one is classification. Under regression and under classification, we have few types of algorithm like linear regression, logistic regression, decision tree, random forest and Naive Bayes, right? So this is pretty much about what is supervised learning. Guys, any doubt till so far for supervised learning? And for machine learning, whatever we have covered till so far, any doubt? And then we will have a look at what is linear regression and we will start with our demo. Vinay was saying his doubt. Suppose a product which have minus review 1 year back, but after feedback company improved the product, now it's showing positive review. How my ML algo detect this, because my trained data is 1 year back data? I don't understand, Vinay, what you are saying. Like, your model is already trained on the negative data, negative review data, and now it's become positive because of company improved the product. I don't understand. If you can give me more clarity on your doubt. Okay, Kashyap, I can see. And what about others, guys? Okay, so how many of you are actually fresher over here in this session, and how many of you are new to, are experienced in this domain itself? So Tanmay is saying regression versus classification. Yes, regression versus classification is nothing but one thing you need to understand. Regression is something where you have a continuous data, and where classification is something you have a discrete data. Some of the cases maybe you don't have data, but still you will get an output. That's not possible. That time, to solve that problem, classification comes into the picture, right? Okay, I can see there is no other doubt. So let's talk about what is linear regression. So regression stands for, the name itself, regression stands for to model a target value based on independent variables, and linear regression is also used to find the relationship between dependent and independent variable. So, okay, so if you have a two variable x and y, right? So if you want to get the relationship between them, you need to use linear regression. So linear regression is a supervised machine learning algorithm, also works with continuous values. Always remember, if we go for logistic regression, that is the part of classification. If we go for decision tree, random forest, right? So for all the classification cases, you need to use discrete data. For all the continuous value data set, you need to use regression technique, right? So bmol, for unsupervised learning, there are clustering, k-means clusterings are there. There are lots of clustering techniques are there for unsupervised. They try to cluster the same data itself to make a class out of it, right? Any doubt? So yeah, we can almost understand all the theory, and now we will jump into the demo. Before starting the demo, guys, if you can give me a quick heads up on that, how many of you know about Google Colab? Because I am going to do this project on Google Colab. So how many of you are fine with Google Colab? If you can give me a quick confirmation on that. This time I will wait, because if you guys saying that we don't have idea about Google Colab, then I will show you few things about Google Colab, and our moderator will send you the link for that as well. We do have tutorial on Google Colab if you are new to Google Colab, right? So now please give me a quick heads up, how many of you have idea about Google Colab? Kashav, Harshit and Vinay has idea about Google Colab. And what about others? I can see almost 47. Okay. Okay, I know Google Colab. And again, guys, if you really like the video, please do hit like, for that we can really understand you are liking it. And please don't forget to subscribe. Great learning. Right, so okay, most of them are saying Google Colab, I know. So for just a quick heads up for that, let me just show you what is Google Colab. Google Colab is a IDE, that integrated development environment. Ashutosh, if you don't have idea, there is no problem. For Evi Naira, okay, for Evi Naira asking that can we have the dataset please? Yes, you will get the dataset, you will get the demo, you will get the presentation, everything in Great Learning Academy. Our moderator is sending the link for that, right? Please go and register for this particular live session. You will get all the materials, session material over there, right? So as our moderator is already saying the link for Google Colab tutorial, but please, for your understanding, Google Colab is a IDE by Google, which is for AI researchers, and there are lots of things they provide as a Google Colab, because they when you go for using deep learning, when you go for a huge data set, that time you need a good computational power. That time you can go for using GPU and TPU in Google Colab. That is also free of cost. Alright, so if you write Google Colab, you will get the first link. Just click over on that link, and here you will get the option for new notebook. Just click on new notebook and you are ready to start working with Google Colab. Right, so this is the basics of Google Colab. Now we are going to use what? We are going to use salary expectations based on experienced project. But here we have used one Kaggle dataset, that is salary.csv, and for your understanding, we have given all the session material in Great Learning Academy. Let me show you how can you actually get all the session material. So Great Learning, if you go for Great Learning Academy, here just click over Great Learning Academy, and there you will get this session name, and just go and register for that. You can see salary prediction based on experience using ML. Register for this session and you will get all the material, the dataset, the code file and the presentation all. Right, will that work for you guys? and this data set is taken from Kaggle itself, right? So now we are going to use two particular library, that is okay. Right, so here we are going to use basically 3 to 4 libraries. One is pandas, one is numpy. Numpy and pandas is basically used for numerical Python numpy, and pandas is nothing but the data manipulation tool. Let me just execute that. Now if you just want to upload a data set in your Google Colab, how to do that? Just click over, let me just make it little big. So just click over these files, and here you will get the option. Just click over this upload option. If you click over it, you will get the option whatever the dataset you have in your dataset, in your local system. If you already downloaded from Kaggle, or the if you already downloaded from Great Learning Academy, you can directly upload it from over here, right? So I have my dataset salary.csv in my system, so I have uploaded that. Now after uploading that, you need to read the CSV file. What is CSV file? CSV file is nothing but comma separated value. Okay, so in this case what we need to write, data equals to pd.readCSV. pd is nothing but your pandas, right? Pandas dot read CSV function is going to help you to book it's going to help you to read the comma separated file. Avinash, I have talked about that, when to use linear regression, decision tree and random forest. For linear regression we use regression technique. For that we need continuous value. For the classification we need decision tree or random forest. You need to go for using discrete data set, right? Okay, now if we just look at that key, if your data is already stored in the data variable or not, what you need to do, you just need to write data.head. What is data.head? Data.head is nothing but it's going to give you the first 5 rows of your data. Any doubt till so far, guys? I will wait for a few seconds. I think Avinash, you got your answer. Okay, so I cannot see any doubt, guys. Do you have any doubt till so far? As my this session delays for 10 seconds, maybe I'm just waiting for that. Do you guys have any idea about any doubt about this till whatever we have talked about, how to upload our data in Google Colab? Clear? Avinash, I don't understand what you are saying. Right, okay. So now as we have seen that what is we have in data.head, we have year of experience, we have salary. So basically if you have experience of 1.1 years, you can expect a salary of 39,343, right? Or if you have experience of 1.3 years, then you can expect a salary of 46,205. For if you have a experience of 1.5, then maybe you can expect a salary of 37,731, right? There are few few experience are there, and with that salary respectively salary. Now if you want to see what are the columns you have in your data, you just need to write data.columns. It will return you what are the columns you have in your data set. Now if you want to go for some statistical, when we talk about the exploratory data analysis, right? So if you want to go and check the what is the data.describe, it's going to give you the total count of rows you have, what is the mean for every column, what is the standard deviation for every column you have, right? And what is the minimum value you have in your data set. You can see for the minimum we have 1.1. For salary I have 3773 1.0. So in this case you can say okay, so I can conclude I don't have any missing value, right? We will talk about that. So for most of the data set, if you go for using the practical data set, you will get the two main thing. One is the missing value, one is outlier, right? We will talk about that. So yeah, for 25%, 50% and 75% is nothing but your IQR, that is interquartile range, right? Sad Salim, does internship count as experiences? I'm not really sure about that because I never did any internship. I directly start working as a full time, full time. So I really don't know. I cannot help you out on that. But yeah, if you work as a intern as well, maybe it's count as your part of your experience. But I'm not sure about it, right? So yeah, these are the described. Now, if you want to check is there any null value you have in your dataset or not, what you need to write, you just need to write data dot is null. So if you just write data dot is null, it's going to return you boolean value, true or false. You can see for all the rows it's giving me false, 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 false. But in this case, I want to check for each and every column, not for each and every row. That time you just need to use one more function called dot any function. In the dot any function, you can see data dot is null dot any. It's giving me false for all the cases. For year of experience and salary, I can say or I can conclude that okay, maybe our data has no null value. Now if you want to see the sum of it, you can use dot any or you can use dot sum. Dot sum is nothing but it's going to sum, right? It's going to sum that what is the missing value you have in your data set. Okay, now we are going to use again two library for Matplotlib and Seaborn. Both Matplotlib and Seaborn are used for data visualization. So we try to visualize our few data from the data set. How to do that? For that we are going to use dot plot function and we are going to use two particular column for two particular columns. For X we are going to use salary, for Y we are going to use year of experience. So when we have plotted it, you can see the curve is not at all smooth. There are lots of variations are there. For 40,000 to experience 1 to 14, 2 to 14 we have, and there are lots of variation you can see in the data in the graph itself. So yeah, it's not going to help you a lot for this particular data set to look at the data visualization, but yeah, there are lots of data set you will get where actually you can understand your data in a more precise way when we go for using data visualization, right? So now what we are going to do we are going to make a model, right? How to make a model and why to make a model. So for the model itself, what we are going to do, we are going to drop a particular column, that is salary column, right? And we are going to also import sklearn.model selection import train test split, right? So it's basically nothing but it will split your data set in train and testing, right? So before start to count, start building the model, any doubt till so far, guys? And I can see some of the doubt. Is there openings for fresher in the market if we complete the 1 year of data analysis course? See, Saad Salim, I cannot go for saying, okay, if you done this course, you will get a job. What I can say, if you done a course and if you have a good idea about the whole concepts, if you know what are the concepts you need to use in your company, the company is going to give, it's going to take you, irrespective of you are fresher or you are an experienced one. Shraddha is asking, are we getting certificate for attending live session? No, Shraddha, there is no live certificate for attending the live session. But again, if you want to go for doing this particular courses we have, right, this columns you can see this particular courses, if you are going to do, then you will get an idea and you will get the certificate as well. What is train and testing? Train and testing is basically nothing but when you divide your data set in two parts, training part and testing part. You just don't want to show all the data to your model in training phase, because then you will not understand how your model will react by looking at the new data. I hope it's done, right? Why we need to do this? What you need to do this? You are asking, Dharmendra. I don't get it. Right? Okay. Now what we are going to do, as we are going to see, we have actually imported import train split. And guys, one more thing, that is for machine learning we use a library called sci-kit-learn. So sklearn we use for machine learning. For all the cases, there are lots of functions are there are lots of, if you go for using linear regression or if you go for using logistic regression, everything is there, right? So you don't need to take care, you don't need to take tension for that. You need to write everything from the scratch. No, right? So in this case, what we are going to do for the X, we are going to take all the dependent variable, right? So if you just look at here, right, for X we are going to take year of experience, for Y we are going to take this salary, right? If you ask me why, because for X I just want to take all the independent variable. So what we have done to drop a particular column from the data frame, so in that case we are going to use dot drop function. So when we have written data dot drop and we have mentioned the column name salary and X is equals to 1, it will automatically drop the salary from your data frame. Now if you just print X, you can see all the experience. Can you see the years of experience? You don't know the salary. Hey Chris, so basically X is equals to 1 we give for column, right? So if you just try to mention that salary X is equals to 1, this is for basically I want to drop this particular column salary which is X is equals to 1. I hope you got the answer. Yeah, most of the cases we know the industry use the sci-kit-learn, right? Okay, so now you can see that what X consists of. Now Y will have only the salary. So you can see Y, I have printed Y dot height. So you will get the first 5 rows of your data. That's nothing but your salary. Now we are going to split our data. How to split our data? We are going to write X train, X test, Y train, Y test equals to train test split, and we are going to provide X and Y both. And the test size we want 80-20%. So what is, okay, I get some of the answer. Okay, let me just complete this particular part, then I will answer your questions. So train test split is something we are going to split and like our data. So in this part, test size equals to 0.2. What is actually does that mean? What problem you are facing, Harshit? Okay, I will answer all your question, guys. It's just distracting me. Okay, so you can see for X and Y, I have written test size equals to 0.2. What does that mean? So basically your training part will be 80% and 20% data will be unseen data for your model, and the 20% data will be shown after your model get trained, right? So this will be your ratio. Now random state equals to 42. So what is this random state equals to 42? So there is no hard and fast rule that first 80% will be used for what? The first 80% will be used for training, for the last 20% will be used for testing, and vice versa. There's nothing, there is no hard and fast rule. So when you put the random state equals to 42, it's basically take data from anywhere for testing and they take data from anywhere for training, right? So this is all about training and testing and splitting the data, right? So let me just explain what are the doubts I got, and then we will go and just build a model. So Chris, I have just explained what is axis 1 and axis 0. I think you got your answer. Data dot drop, Mayank, we use to drop a particular column from the dataset. So from a particular dataset, if you want to just drop or delete a particular column, that time we go for use drop, right? Harshit, what problem you are facing? I can show you how to import the data. If you just click over here, right, there is a box over here. Click over this box and then you will get an upload option. Go to the upload option, and as my data is in the downloads, and if I just go down, so here you can see I have my data set. If you just press enter, it will start getting downloaded. I mean uploaded, not downloaded. Right, so in this case you can see the salary.csv will come over here, and if it's not, then please cross it and again try to look into it. That time you can see you get the data set. Now if you want to get the copy, the path of the data set, click on this 3 dot line, right? You will get an option for copy path, right? And from there you can directly give your copy path from pd.readcsv, right? It will help you to do that. So importing, Harshit, importing the path, again I said, right? So you just need to take the path from clicking on this 3 dot. From here, go and just write copy path and post it, paste it over here. pd.read csv, paste it over here, right? So your dataset will be there and imported. You don't need to take problem for that. Is this done? Harshit and Mayank, both of you are masking, right? So okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to make a model. How to make the model? We are going to import linear regression from sci-kit-learn. So what we are going to write, thanks Parth. So for that, what we are going to do, we are going to write from sci-kit-learn dot linear model, we are going to import linear regression, right? So when we are trying to import linear regression, because we are going to use linear regression algorithm, okay? So in this case, we are going to call the linear regression function. You can see we have written L equals to linear regression. Then when we are trying to fit our model, basically train our model, we will call a function called dot fit. So L dot fit, and we will provide x train and y train, right? So all the training data you will provide. You can see after that, if you just do L, let me just do that. Right, you can see your model get trained. Now if you just try to check the prediction for the classes, what you need to do, you just need to provide x test, that is your experience, right? Not the salary. When you write that y pred equals to L dot predict and you give x test, that time it will give the prediction. And if you see the prediction, let me just show you what prediction you will get, right? So this is something you get 11,000 1,10,576 according to the, if I go for writing this, then if you just write x test, right? Let me just check, not x test, y test, right? If you can see, your y prediction is 110576 and y test is 116969. Not a bad prediction here, right? And here you have 64251, here you have 57081, right? Here you have 109431, and here you have 103713, right? So yeah, so you can actually solve the, you can see your model is predicting pretty well. And if you want to check the score, accuracy score for your model, you just need to call the function called L.score, and you have to provide x test and y test. Then you will get the total accuracy. So total accuracy for your model is 89%. So it's not working bad. So if you add few more things, obviously you can add them as well, right? Okay, so I hope you are quite clear with the project we have done. So salary expectations based on the experience. Any doubt else so far, guys? Otherwise, we will wrap up today's session, and please don't forget to subscribe Great Learning. Please do hit like the video if you really like it. If you feel like it's going to help you out, that will actually give us a inspiration to work more for you guys. And please go to Great Learning Academy, and also just go and upskill yourself. There are almost 80 plus free courses you can do, and after complete your course you can claim your certificate. And if you want to do these courses in your mobile application, that's also possible. Okay, that's also possible using Great Learning app. There's one question I got from Vinay, that evaluation which matrix. So basically evaluation is matrix is basically based on what your model predict versus what is the actual value. So this is something basically known as the evaluation metric, right? I think there is no doubt. I did not get any questions so far. So thank you guys. Thank you for attending the session. Thank you for being with us. Thank you so much. Bye bye for today. Next session we will see. And if you have any doubt, please do let us know in the comment section. And if you have any new idea about this particular concepts you want us to work on, that please do let us know. We will love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much. Bye bye.